So in August last year, we met as a team and spent 5 grueling days thinking through Cotlands' future. We realized that there were lots of things happening in the ECD landscape, the Banapele blueprint, the advent of a quality assurance system, the starting of really understanding where DBE is going to be putting the stake in the ground and saying we're only going to fund silver registered programs, and the realization that when we looked at Banapele and the framework, where do we fit in this ecosystem? And I think today, if you're leading a nonprofit organization, you need to do something similar. We cannot operate in silos any longer. We need to find ways in which we can be collaborating and partnering. The task of bringing 1.4 million children into early learning programs across South Africa is enormous. As we speak, 1.4 million children younger than 5 do not have the privilege of any touch point with early learning before they start school. That is a national crisis. And that is the reason we don't see our children completing school. We don't see as many graduates as we want. And those of us that are in the corporate space and in any space, if you are starting to look for talent, for human potential, for people to actually employ, we are slowly having less and less skills that we can tap into in our country. But at the heart of this is experience that we've gained over the last 5 years working with corporates in various communities. We go into a community and the first thing we settle is a toy library. It's non-invasive, it's friendly, it's inviting, it's playful, and immediately parents and practitioners can benefit from becoming part of the library and journeying with us as we provide them with resources and training, etc. In our revised model, when we looked at this in August, we realized how important the mentoring and support on the ground function is, and so decided that part of what the toy library should be doing is to also do the mentoring. And we've kind of relooked the roles within the toy library, and we would be adding a third person so that they have the sole responsibility of mentoring and supporting on the ground as practitioners implement learning programs. So in this hub, we'll have the toy libraries, but we'll also be setting up early childhood development centers. So you know when you have a tap here and you have a glass here and the water just keeps missing you. So we're going to kind of move under the tap so we can catch the funding that's available for ECD centers. And in that way, we're able to also showcase and in a community become a center of excellence. So many of our partners in the room already have been doing this for a couple of years, where you have a model center and other practitioners can come into that space and they can learn from that. And it can be used as a training ground, as a place for work integrated learning, and also a place where practitioners can come and shadow and learn on the job skills as and when required. Our hub will also have a space for training for larger group gatherings, and obviously very passionate about parents and the role of parents in the lives of young children. And so we will be building a revised version of our Birth to 3 playgroups into a parenting program. And the idea is that we will bring mothers and their children together over a 13-week period, do a lots of play, stimulation, conversation, but at the same time also support parents in their parenting journey, which those of you in the room, it's not the easiest thing in the world. And so we are going to continue with the Birth to 3, and we really believe that we all know that intervention should start very early. And although the government is focusing on 3 to 5-year-olds, we see a gap, and we are saying we should be building from the start. And so we want to try and fill that gap, do a decent parenting program, and children then transition into a more group type of learning experience as they grow older. Our hub will also have a space where we've seen nurses and social workers, and SASSA, and we heard people talk about birth certificates, etc. but a space where parents and the community can come for additional services, and where they will be able to be empowered and where they can get information. And we really believe that this is a way to not duplicate services, to maximize the very limited resources that we have. So instead of a nurse visiting every single space in the community, you could have clinic days, as this group rightly pointed out, and it can all take place at the hub. It can also be a space where intergovernmental activities can take place, and we can bring the municipalities also a little bit closer to the work of early childhood development. Is that many of us in the room are doing bits and pieces already of what is a hub. And we know that these hubs can be located in beautiful spaces that's purpose-built for it, but we also know that it can actually fit anywhere where it's conducive. And we want to reach out to people in the room and say, we want to connect, we want to collaborate, we want to partner. We believe that in South Africa, we need more than 360 ECCE hubs. We already have a list of the districts where we know they should be located, because those children are most at risk. And we should be starting in those communities, because those children don't only face poverty risks, but they also face the many multiple risks that compound. Children are not secure, they can't access programs, they are not enrolled, mothers are unsupported. So we really have an obligation as society to go to these marginalized communities and to set up these hubs. And as much as we are pioneering, we envisage pioneering owning about 12 of these hubs, so that they can be our spaces of learning, our spaces of iteration. But we want to partner with others to build the other 300 and so that we need. And so we would really like to invite and extend an invitation. We can do certain portions within the hub. We can invite other partners to do other bits and pieces. It really all sits in the connection and in the willingness to be sitting around the table and saying, we want to work in community X. Cotlands, what would your role be? So we do see ourselves as the technical experts to set up these and manage it, and also have put up our hand to lead the conversations in South Africa on a national level with the Department of Basic Education on setting up early childhood care and education hubs. And so I just want to say one last thing. So our impact is really around providing information, providing direct services, being sure that we collaborate with others, and that we support all early learning programs that children go to under the age of 5. And then just in conclusion, we are really, really passionate about quality, about access, and are really wanting to create sustainable partnerships